Hey, what's up, guys? You're here with Gordon, Kirk, and Jack from PickDawgz. And once again, thank you for joining us here for some free picks for Sunday soccer in Europe from the top five European football leagues. We have some interesting matchups going on. We have United against Tottenham. We have Atletico Madrid against Real Madrid. And you can get free picks for all of those games up on the PickDawgz YouTube channel in separate videos from this one. While in this video, you can get free picks for basically all the other games that are on the schedule in the top five European football leagues. Now, guys, we are gonna get into this video quickly, but I just want to say that we've been doing quite well. We had some fun games on Sunday, on Saturday as well. Now let's make it the same on Sunday with a few more winners, guys. And as you can see, there's three of us now, so you're getting an additional free pick. You're getting an additional perspective on some of the games and stuff like that. So that's definitely gonna be very good news for you guys who are watching these videos and putting money on our free picks. Now, the first game we have to talk about here, Jack, is between Ipswich and Aston Villa. We know that Ipswich is a newcomer to the EPL this season, while Aston Villa, they have been a little bit sloppy on that defensive end. They have conceded at least a goal in four of their last five games. But I'm not sure we can rely on Ipswich right now until they get their first win to the season. What are your thoughts about this one?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a long season ahead and a very tough lesson for Ipswich. I just don't think they've had the ability, and they really didn't invest that much in the pre-season transfer window. So, yeah, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Give me the Villa money line, near enough even money. I think they win in this fixture 6 out of 10 times if you run this back 10 times. So, yeah, I think with the implied odds and the odds that we're getting today, this is just a freebie. Give me Villa on the money line.
Sevilla is playing against Bayern Munich in the Champions League next week. Kirk, do you think that's going to have an impact on the roster here for this game?
Well, it doesn't matter because it'll be 5-6-0 Bayern, so they can put whoever they want out in this game, and they should try to win this one instead of the one against Bayern. But anyways, I'm thinking about this one a little bit differently. Ipswich, they've been tied at halftime in three of their last four games. They've actually tied four games in a row. They haven't been bad at home this season, and they've only lost two of their five games. So I'm going with the first half draw. Villa's been kind of sketchy in the first half this year as well, as we know with that Everton game. But I think Ipswich is better defensively than Everton. So that's why I'm going with the first half draw plus 120.
I don't mind that pick personally. It doesn't go against my or Jack's pick as well because I'm also going to take Aston Villa on the money line. It's minus 110 at the moment. They are the better team. I think that they'll try to get the job done and maybe they then take off some of the players who will be playing against Bayern in the Champions League. But I just can't put my money on Ipswich right now until they get their first win of the season. I think I have to fade them completely. Now we are moving on to La Liga, guys, where we have Celta and Girona facing off. Celta, I would say surprisingly, a pretty heavy favorite at plus 115, Kirk. Girona hasn't been themselves lately. They have been dropping points all over the place. They haven't been playing that well. While Celta on the other side, they're coming off of a late loss against Atletico Madrid 1-0, what, in 87th minute or something like that, 89th minute. But they have been more than good at home this season. So, Kirk, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, Celta's just been goals, goals, goals. I can't believe that was a 1-0 Atletico win, but if it was against any team, it would be against Atletico. Girona haven't scored in their last three matches, and I think this is where the floodgates can open. Celta concede a lot, but they also score a lot, especially at home, and I think this is just simple. I'm going to go with the over 2.5. It's been hitting in most of Celta's games all season, and I'm not going to fade it now.
Yeah, Girona has been conceding a lot on the road, Jack, and they haven't beaten anyone in their last four games. And on top of that, they're playing against Feyenoord in the Champions League next week in a game that they could potentially win. I think that they're good enough and they're playing at home. So, what can we expect from Girona in this one?
I think you're going to see the standard Girona that we've seen all season is trying to stay strong defensively and trying to grab a point or try and steal a goal wherever they can. So in that case, I'm kind of in the opposite side to Kirk. I'm going with the under 2.5 at plus 125. So yeah, I mean, you look at the last four times these teams have met, they've all been 1-0 fixtures. So they've gone the under the last four times. So yeah, I think that's enough for me to have a lean towards the under. It's not a strongest pick in the world, but it's a lean.
I also feel like Girona could snag this opportunity against Celta, maybe to get on the score sheet and try to improve their form, which makes me think they could score a goal or two even in this game. But I think it's going to be tough. I think that Celta is playing well at home. They lost only one of their last four home games, and that was against Atletico Madrid. But honestly, I think that they get back on the winning track in this one. So I'm going to roll with Celta on the money line in this one at plus 180. Off to the next Spanish Liga games, we have Athletic Bilbao playing against Sevilla, and we know that Sevilla has been struggling this season. Jack, they have been all over the place. They did win their last game against Valladolid 2-1. It was a tight match. They barely got it out to get all 3 points, but on the road, they're still winless, and Bilbao is on fire right now.
Yeah, I think both teams are not struggling to find the back of the net, which is why I'm going with the both teams to score this time round. They're scoring. They're both teams on really good scoring streaks. Just looking at it now, Bilbao have scored in their last 4 games. Sevilla have scored in their last 3. So that's enough for me to just lean towards the both teams to score and get the job done for us here on this free pick.
How about you, Kirk?
Yeah, Bilbao's been pretty good defensively lately, thanks, which is also a big reason of their 4-game winning streak. Or I guess one game was a draw, but they haven't lost in 4 games. And the last 7 games between these two teams have gone under 2.5. I'm going with under 2.5 at a pretty good price here at minus 126.
Could potentially see a low scoring game here, but I just don't see Bilbao losing this one. Sevilla has been very, very bad when playing on the road. They have conceded not a lot of goals, 4 goals in those 3 games, but they are a sloppy team overall, and they are now facing Bilbao, who's actually on fire in a pretty great form as well. So I'm taking Bilbao on the money line at minus 133. Now, for our next matchup, guys, we have Betis and Espanyol facing off. Betis, surprisingly decent price, minus 143 for them to win, while Espanyol, they conceded 6 goals in their last 2 games. They lost both of those games, one against Real Madrid, one against Villarreal. Kirk, do you think Espanyol can do something in this game, or is Betis going to finally step up and finally get a win after 2 games without?
Yeah, see, that's what we don't know. We don't know what this Betis team is going to do, and I don't know if they're going to score enough for this over. So I'm just going to keep this simple. I'm going under 2.5. It's a pretty decent price, and I don't trust Espanyol offensively, but I don't trust Betis at all offensively. So that's why I'm going with the under.
Yeah, they are playing in the Conference League in 10 days or so, I think, and there's plenty of time for them to rest up for that game. I think they have to go for the win in this one. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, again, it's another lean for me this time round. So sorry to sit on the fence, but I think it's just another one where it's hard to really read on paper. Both teams conceding their fair share of goals against poor attacks this season. So I think it's enough for me to lean on both teams to score. Giving the both teams to score. Again, both teams as well, I must add, are on a streak of both teams scoring in their games. So, yeah, it's a lean, but it's enough for me to lean.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over 2.5 in this one at plus 102. I remember making a video with Kirk about Espanyol's last game, and a lot of people were leaning the under, even though the over 2.5 was like plus 125 or something like that. It ended 2-1 for Villarreal. So once again, I'm gonna take the over in this one plus 102. It seems that Espanyol is scoring goals quite consistently, but they just can't keep the ball off out of their nets. So I'm gonna go with the over. Now, off to the Italian Serie A, guys. We have Torino and Lazio facing off in the next matchup. Lazio has been all over the place once again. Very sloppy team. And then when I think that they are gonna go out and do nothing, they beat their opponents 3-0 in the Europa League matchup. I think it was what, Maccabi Haifa or something like that. Uh, while Torino, on the other side, a very solid team. We know they have a new head coach. We know that they're playing well in that attacking end. But Jack, do you have a pick for us in that one?
Yeah, like you said, it's just so hard to read these teams. And as you said, the result that Lazio had in the week is like kind of out of the ordinary so far from what we've seen from them this season. So I'm going with a player prop here. I'm going with Che Adams, who is from the UK. I've got to say, there's no bias, but he's just been performing very well for Torino this season. Like he's moved from the Premier League, which is a tough league, one of the toughest leagues to play, and he's gone and had success in Italy. So give me Che Adams to have over 0.5 shots on target. He's been finding the back of the net, so why can't he at least give us one shot on target in this game? And I think Torino have been doing well and giving him the productivity and giving him creativity, getting him the ball in the box frequently.
Now, how about you, Jack? Kirk, sorry. What are your thoughts about this game?
Yeah, as Jack kind of said, Lazio, that was kind of an out of an ordinary result. They'd scored and conceded in their last 4 games. Torino is kind of a shock, top of the league Serie A right now. And away, I think Lazio definitely scores. They've been scoring a lot, but also been conceding a lot. I think the value here is just with both teams to score at a pretty good price at -116.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Kirk. Torino simply playing too well. 8 scored goals in 5 games. They haven't scored a lot at home, 2 goals in 2 games, but they're still undefeated at home. They have been quite solid defensively, while Lazio on the road, only 2 scored goals and 4 conceded goals so far. They are coming off of a win, however, and I think that's going to be a nice confidence boost for them ahead of this game. So I do agree with your both teams to score, and I'm getting it at -120. Now, for our next Serie A matchup, guys, we have Como and Verona facing off. It's a bit of a smaller matchup, so let's get through this one fairly quickly. Why don't you give me your pick, Jack?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. You know the old saying, like when a movable force meets an unstoppable force head to head. Since we're in the Italian league, we've got two Fiat 500s just coming head to head here. I don't see a winner. I don't see a team coming out on top. Just give me the draw up plus 230, and I'll take it.
Yeah, and I guess, Kirk, you agree with that?
Yep, copy that. On to you, Goran.
I'm actually gonna take Como on the money line here. They had a very good game, at least very good second half against Atalanta. Just a few days ago, they beaten them 3-2 for their first win of the season. I think honestly that's gonna be a big confidence boost for this team. That is exactly what they needed, and I think that they will keep going right now. Verona on a 2-game losing streak, losing 3 of their last 4. So I'm gonna take Como on the money line in this one. Roma and Venezia. Now, Kirk, we know that Roma got a new head coach just a couple of weeks ago, and they are coming off of another draw against Bilbao in the Europa League, but they've won their first game against Udinese 3-0 for the first game for the new head coach. And now they're playing against Venezia, who is coming off of a win, but a very, very bad team this season.
Yeah, the Venezia are all over the place. Roma have only conceded 3 times in 5 games, and both teams have only scored in one of Venezia's last 5 games. I don't think they get on the score sheet here. I'm going with both teams to score equals no at pretty much even value.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough game here for Venezia, in my opinion. So my pick here in this one is gonna be Roma to win and over 1.5 goals. It is a bit juiced. It's -154. It's not the greatest price, but it's not that bad of a price as well. What do you have in this game, Jack?
I'm with Kirk on this one. I don't see a way that Venezia score. With the unrest from the Roma fans as well, and they haven't been the best in front of goal from what we have seen from them in the past few years. They can score, but I think for me, this is just all about Valencia not being able to score. So same with Kirk. Give me both teams to score equals no. I'm getting it at -107.
All right, so 2-0 for Roma. We agree on that. The next one, we have Empoli and Fiorentina. We know that Fiorentina, I don't know, they just seem to be so inconsistent, especially when playing on the road. When they're playing at home, they're quite solid. They did beat Lazio last week, and next week they are playing in the Conference League as well, or might be the week after that. But Empoli on the other side has won their last 2 games on the road in a row, and they are now undefeated in their last 6 games, and that is actually quite a streak for this team, Jack.
It is, and I'm willing to ride this wave until it crashes. I'm willing to ride with Empoli here, especially when you're getting it at what I'm getting plus 230. I think that's a great price considering their current form, and I think you see this season in, season out, where these random teams that you don't expect to just start the season really well, and it takes some other teams a long time to really get up to scratch. So, like I said, I'm going to ride this wave, and if you don't want the extra juice on Empoli, you can go for the double chance on Empoli or draw.
And if I'm not wrong, Kirk, that is your pick exactly for this game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna really speak on this game because I have a combination of yours too. So I'll let you talk and then I'll just take the combination.
Yeah, so as you might see, guys, Kirk has Empoli on the double chance, and Jack has Empoli on the money line. I, on the other hand, decided to go with the draw in this one. There's been a lot of draws in the games between these two teams as well. I mean, three of the last four ended in a draw. I think that Fiorentina is decent enough to snatch at least a point out of this game. So I'm gonna go with the draw in this one. Now off to German Bundesliga. Kirk, your favorite league. I'm gonna let you take the lead in this one. We have Holstein Kiel playing against Eintracht. Eintracht, who is coming off of I would say, a bit of a disappointing draw in the Europa League. They had a lead twice in that game, but do you think they bounce back in this one?
Yeah, finally we get to talking about a good league. Bundesliga should be the first league we talk about anytime. But Kiel, they've been really bad in first halves. They were down 2-1 to Bochum at halftime. They were down 3-0 to Hoffenheim in their opener. So they've just been down early, but they've been making some pretty good comebacks late in the game. I'm going with Frankfurt on the first half money line at plus 120. Frankfurt should come out. They just got a lot of attacking power. Ekatike, they have Marmouche, a lot of guys that really can just put the ball in the back of the net. So give me them on the first half money line.
What's your pick in this one, Jack?
Yeah, short and sweet. I agree with Kirk. I don't see a way that Eintracht Frankfurt lose this game or even draw this game. This could be 2-0, 3-0 easily. So give me Frankfurt money line minus 143. And again, if you want the extra juice, I do not see the first half Frankfurt being a bad play at all.
Yeah, I think we all agree on this one, and that kind of scares me a bit, I have to admit. I will also take Eintracht on the money line at minus 133. I think that they got unlucky in that game against Pilsen in the Europa League. It ended in a 3-3 draw, but I think that they get the job done in this one, as they are on a three-game winning streak in Bundesliga at the moment. For the second Bundesliga game, Kirk, we have Hoffenheim and Werder facing off. Hoffenheim got a 1-1 draw against Midtjylland in the Europa League. They were without a few starters in that game. They were being, I guess, rested for Bundesliga. While Werder on the other side is coming off of an ass whooping against Bayern Munich 5-0 at home. And overall, I don't think that they are at all better than Hoffenheim.
Yeah, no, I'd say these two teams are kind of stalemate in terms of quality. And the last four games between these two teams have been 2-1, 3-2, 2-1, 2-1. So both teams are going to score over 2.5 is going to hit. If Hoffenheim doesn't go over 2.5 for two straight games, something is wrong in the world. So I'm going with that as my pick.
What is your pick in this one, Jack?
Yeah, a game for me I can't really call, to be honest, and I don't really see much value across the board where my money could possibly go. So I'm going to go for the under 4.5 cards here, close to even money, minus 105. Two really well-disciplined teams this season who really haven't been picking up that many cards. The only way I see this free pick not working out is if we get unlucky in the last few minutes of the game where a player gets caught for time wasting or kicking a ball away or something like that. So give me the under 4.5 cards at close to even money.
I personally am going to go with goals in this one. I'm going to take over 3 goals on the Asian total line, minus 139. I think we can all agree that Hoffenheim or Werder really cannot keep a clean sheet this season. They're struggling defensively a lot. Definitely the type of a game where I could potentially see both teams going all out and getting and trying to get the job done by scoring some goals. So I'm gonna go with the over 3 goals at minus 139. Now, guys, we have 3 games in the French League One, and let's get them done quickly. We have that game between Toulouse and Lyon. Lyon kept a clean sheet against Olympiacos somehow in the Europa League earlier this week. They ended up losing to Marseille last week, but what do you think about this one, Jack?
Yeah, going to keep it short and sweet. I think considering current form, these two teams are really close on paper. Lyon are one of few teams in the league who haven't led at halftime this season. So with those factors considered, I'm going with a first half draw at plus 120.
Yeah, I just can't see Lyon keeping another clean sheet. That would be two in a row, and I think that something would crash at that point. So for me personally, I'm taking both teams to score in over 2.5 at plus 100. How about you, Kirk?
Yep, copy that, Goron. Let's go. Let's keep
There
moving.
we go. Now the next game we have is between Nantes and Saint-Etienne, guys. And if that other games scared me, I think this one scares the bejesus out of me, guys. We're gonna keep it simple. We all have Nantes on the money line, except I'm getting it at minus 128. Jack and Kirk are getting it at minus 150. Saint Etienne has been so horrible this season that we simply cannot rely on them. And knowing our luck, they are gonna win this game.
Probably, probably.
Now we are moving on to the last pick of this video, guys. We have another matchup in the French League One. Angers and Reims are facing off. Reims in a bit of a slump lately, but overall, I think that they're a solid team. While Angers on the other side, not a bad team, but I just don't know. They are without a win in their last 8 games. They will be fighting to stay in the League One. Jack, do you think they can do something in this game against Reims?
I think it's a very close game again. Pretty unpredictable, but if someone was holding a gun to my head and I had to pick a winner, it would just be Rain. Give me Rain. Not my favorite game on the slate, but yeah, I'll just give me Rain.
What about you, Jack? Kirk, sorry.
Wow, 2 for 2 with calling me Jack today.
I
But
forgot that there's three of us.
you forgot my name already. I've been with you
I
longer.
don't know.
No, I'm just messing. But that's what you get for calling me a drunk. But anyways, in
It's
this
because
one,
you
I'm
sound
going with the
differently.
under two. I'm going with the under 2.5 at minus 128. They're Angers, they've been in 2 straight 1-1 draws, and at home they've actually not conceded as much as on the road. Under 2.5 is my play here.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a bit of a choppy game where Angers, I guess, will try and do something. They are the home team after all. They have to snap this negative streak they are on at some point. I think it starts with the defense, and in order to improve your defense to get more aggressive, of course, you have to get more fouls and you have to be aggressive on the pitch. So I'm gonna take over 4.5 cards at plus 107 in this one. I think that maybe 3 or 4 of those will go to Angers, and then if Reim has to waste a little bit of a time or something like that, get a yellow card for that. That's kind of my logic for this game. So I'm gonna go with the over 4.5 cards. But thank you for joining us here, guys. We gave out a lot of free picks for the Sunday slate. We gave a lot of free picks for Saturday slate as well. There's a whole video with the MLS free picks up on the PickDawgz YouTube channel. Those are yet to kick off as we are recording this video. So check it out, guys. Subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you guys soon with more free picks.